go. All right. And I just loaded up Friday. I usually just practice on Friday. Um, Friday moved pretty good. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't too much too crazy, but it moved at a good speed. And of course, this is NQ. Let me add up my little levels. I didn't want to do that. Not here. So how was everybody's trade week? Did y'all do good? Did you do bad? Do you got questions? Anything in particular you want to go over? How do I move this out of the way? I'll put this on another screen. There it is. Nothing, no questions. So y'all must have had a great week then. Y'all week must have been outstanding.
See if he can hear you.
I maybe I'm listening.
240. Don't let all the lines confuse you guys. These are just old levels that I marked up, but I just haven't deleted some of them. All right.
Do you put your levels in every day, or you use the same one that you had?
If they haven't been used yet, if the market hasn't gotten to those levels, I leave them on there. But if they've been used, I'll remove them off.
Oh, okay.
When I do delete all drawing tools, they don't always delete from every tab. You need to do it individually.
Do you have your set? So when you double click on one of the lines, does this say all charts?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, if this doesn't say all charts, then yeah, it's on individual charts. But if you put this on all charts, if you mark it off on a 1 hour, it's going to show on every chart that you have of NQ.
Oh, okay.
That
And
way,
then when
when
you
you
do,
delete it, it'll delete it from all of them.
You hear that?
even if it's locked, it'll
Yeah.
do that.
Oh no, no, if it's locked, yeah, you got to unlock it.
But I mean, when you do clear all drawing tools, will it delete it from all charts if it's locked or no?
No, if it's locked, it won't delete them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got to unlock it first. And the only, I mean, I don't use lock that much, but like the overnight high and the overnight low, I'll lock that one, because if I want to delete all my levels,
You get
I
to
still
zoom
want that red and green line, so I could just use that for the high and the low overnight.
on your chart so you can talk to him.
Okay.
But yeah, just keep it on all charts. That way, anytime you mark a level, it's going to show on everything that's in Q or that's GC.
You have Discord on yours.
Yeah, but
You got it.
Can I see you mark a level real fast so I know if I'm doing it right?
Yeah. Okay, so this is a daily chart. So this right here, when you see three or more going down, that's a triple threat. So if I want to mark off a triple threat level, I mark off the open of that candle. So I will highlight it, and I will look for the open, which is 957.5. So I'll double click on that one, 957.5. I'll type in the exact point where it opens at, hit apply and okay. That way that line is right at the open. You don't want to guess that level. You want to put it right at that level.
And then that concludes that level. You don't mark it at the bottom of it, that candle.
No, because there's a trend to the downside.
All
So
right.
the trend started right here on the triple threat. The trend started right here at the open, and then it went down for however many days. And this is a big one because it went down four days. It was just a down market. And then
So
when this one finally closed green, then this one is locked in as the beginning of a trend.
so you'll mark that one too.
No, I don't mark the end of a trend. No,
I'm talking about the green one.
no, I don't mark that one because that's when this closes, it just confirms that this one is now locked in place. Because if
Oh,
this green one would have closed red, then it's just going to continue the trend down.
right.
So anything after
So
three
what would you?
candles, I wait for a closure of an opposite color.
So
But
they
like
got to be
this one,
big candles.
go ahead.
Do they have to be big candles, or do they have to be like what if they like doji?
A doji is not a green or red. Doji opens and closes at the same spot, so I wouldn't count a doji.
Right. So those green ones, would you mark them?
Say that again.
The green ones that's going up, would you mark them?
I will mark them as soon as I see one close red.
Oh, okay. So
So
yeah,
one has to close red before, because right now it's been trending up all for the past week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the past 6 days has been an uptrend because it's the end of the year and they got shareholders that they need to make sure they get money and be happy. So it's the
right.
end of the year rally, and you see it's just all green.
And it's not closing above that red candle yet.
Yeah, it hasn't closed above this one yet. No. That
So
and remember this right here is a daily level. So even though that's a strong level, it might whip up a little bit higher before it comes down.
all right. So but it's
You know,
got to
like,
be
'cause it's a much bigger level. Like swing traders would take that as a short because they're going to hold that trade for a couple days.
okay.
But it's different. It's different if it's like a 1 hour. It's the same concept. For three or more candles, wait for a closure of the opposite color, mark it off. It's just on a 4 hour or a 1 hour is more likely to turn around a lot faster than on a daily.
Okay.
Yeah, but the concept is still the same. Three, once you count three candles, then I will wait for which one is going to close the opposite color. Then is locked in as a triple threat. So only reason why I wouldn't mark this one yet is because nothing closed red yet. So it's still telling me this move is up.
All right. So if you like, say you just get on the computer and those candles, like you doing an hour candle. Uh,
Let's go down to the hour.
as you
All right, this hour.
going, you can mark them like that too.
So like right here, the hour. This is the
As the
hour
mark,
right here.
yeah, as the market is moving, you can mark them as they change or no.
I mean, you can. So like for example, here's a level right here. I'm gonna move this one up. See that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going down, and then closure on the green. Okay, now this is locked in, right? You see the
Yeah.
market came back up to that line and pretty much stopped dead, almost dead in its tracks and went down.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm putting exactly what's the open was 9700. So let's put this on 9700. Now let's go down to the 5 minute and see what that was, how that played out. All right, so here it is on the 5 minute. That's that level on the 5 minute right here. All right, it was marked back here. The market came up to it right here, and look at that big drop.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily mean that that line is gone, right? Because look, further down, it came back up to it. It dropped here, it dropped here, it dropped here. Big drop, came back, dropped here again, dropped here again. Now it's going above it.
So if once it go
Because
above it, it's a dead line, right?
not necessarily, it just haven't closed above it yet.
Oh, okay.
It started back here. This was the when we marked it back here. Right here, it tapped it, dropped all the way down. That was the first touch. It hasn't closed above it yet. Right here is well, it hasn't closed above. It's 20 seconds left, based on the time. So is above it now. If it closes above it, then I'm looking to buy at that level instead of sell. But you could have sold off that level right here, and you could have sold off that level several times here. I normally only take two trades. I would have took one here if I was awake because that's 5 o'clock in the morning. I would have took it here, a short, and I probably would have took this one right here for a quick 100, 200, but that's probably about $100 right there. I would have took that short, and then I wouldn't have took the rest of them. I would have waited for it to close above it and look for an area to buy from there.
Okay.
I only like two touches. I don't like doing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 touches.
So once it closed above it, you would have bought it.
Yeah, I will look. It doesn't mean it, not guaranteed, but more than likely is once if it was a resistance, especially if it resisted that many times, once it finally closed above it, that resistance turns into support. So now it's more likely to support it because it was so strong, stopping it from going above it. It just built it up to where it'd be a good area to buy it off of. Not guaranteed, but I would trust it. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how far it closed above it. But the main trade is this R1 right here. I would look for it to get up here, take a nice short off that R1.
Yeah.
You know, but it's so many trades that can happen within a short amount of time. You just have to pick which ones you like the most, right? Even though I would like to buy the market if it closed above it, I would probably ignore that because I'm waiting for the R1.
For it to drop down.
Yeah, for it to drop down. And that's why you utilize your indicators. Like you see right here, that little dots is a swing high right there, right? So if it closes above it, that swing high is still a very strong level. So you have the swing high, you have this 1 hour level, you know, and then you see this is the Don chain is sitting right on top of it too. So you have several reasons why if it closes above it, it's not gonna just break right back down below it. You're gonna get a nice little you're gonna get a nice little bounce off of there. More so.
Okay.
You know.
So
But
is R1
the
strong?
farther up that it closes above it, the stronger that yellow line will get for support. If it just closes a little bit above it, it's like I don't know about that.
Yeah, they ain't going. That's what happens to me. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
especially if it closes above it and you see a whole nother candle open up and close. Oh yeah, you come back down here, you're gonna bounce up off that.
So you can take another trade on the
Yeah,
bounce.
I will buy it, and
Yeah.
and if it doesn't touch the R1, if it come back down here, I will probably buy it up to the R1, and I'll
Right.
probably get out at the R1 if I wanted a bigger trade. But once again, if your average per trade is 200, just buy it, get 200, and get out the way.
Yeah.
Because there's always more to make. You know, I could have made more. Yeah, you could have. You also could have lost it.
Hey, Will, in that instance, let's just say you're doing that. Are you also doing a trade copier or are you switching to a different account and you know what I mean? And basically kicking that back in on the other account?
Oh, I'll copy. I'll copy like 2 or 3
Okay.
accounts off of it. But remember, that's why I have multiple screens. You know, people think you have multiple screens just because it look cool. Like, no, I literally have 2 to 3 charts on each screen. Each one has a different account. You know what I'm saying? So I have 2 charts over here that are just micros, and I'll probably copy trade 2 to 3 accounts on each one. And then I have over here I have charts that are minis, and I'll copy trade 2 to 3 accounts on minis. That's why when I post my results, you'll see a bunch of them that say like 100. Then you'll see a couple say 50 because those are copy traded.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's just getting used to trading multiple accounts. That's why don't be in a rush to get a bunch of them. Because when I did that, that's that day I lost 6 PAs in one day because I was trying to trade all 16 accounts in the same day, and got my tail whooped.
Can you copy trade Lulu?
I think legally you can only copy trade like 3.
Okay. And
I
someone
think they
has a
have a
question
limit.
in the chat about replaying data.
Yeah, just check on it to make sure. But I think you can only copy trade 3 of them. I don't copy trade none of my Lilu.
Okay.
Just
Did you hear
because
what I said
they're
about the
picky
question?
with copying, huh?
Did you hear what I said about the question? Someone has a question about replaying data or
Oh, hold on,
in the
where's
chat.
that?
In the chat.
No, I got it. I figured
Oh.
it out. I just had to restart my NinjaTrader.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes it do take a little funny when you try to load previous days. But this is how you really get good in the market. You could replay levels. Like, I wonder if this level is going to work. You could rewind it, fast forward it, speed it up, and you could really get good without waiting for the market to open to practice. Yeah, that's why I like playback, because I can get in the playback and really play everything as it goes.
But the R levels you said are stronger than the 1 hour?
Is the R1s, the pivots?
Yeah.
No, not necessarily stronger. They're just another reason for trades.
Okay.
Like GC, where's that GC at? Yeah, okay. I was looking at GC. I got GC up as well. But yeah, like GC is at the R1 right now. You know what I'm saying? This one could have bounced off the R1, but now it's back at the R1. The R1 is just one of those levels that's just a good level to trade at. You know, especially if it's something else going on at that same spot. It's just more reason to take it.
It's a set point of influence, right?
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you're at the R1 and say you have the divergence indicator, and right before it prints a doji, then you got 3 points of confluence. You got the
Yeah.
doji signaling a change of direction. You're at the R1, plus you have divergence. So it's telling you everything's going down.
Win, lose, or
And
draw, I'm taking it.
then if you have price predictor and it's saying 80% chance of a short, you might as well
Yeah.
double down and just hit you on 6
Add a
minis and
couple
ride.
contracts to it.
Just and that's how I play mine. Whether it's minis or micros, but if I have 2 points of confluence, I usually stack it's one contract. If I have three or more, I'll stack two or three contracts
Oh
and
yeah.
go for broke.
So
Like,
look
I
right.
mean, when you get that much confluence, it just, to me, it seems like that's the way.
Yeah, because just right here, R1, and then you have Don Chain sitting right on top of the R1. I'm taking that. And look, it bounced down. You made a good couple bucks, and now it's going back up.
And people, Will, I've noticed myself in following your style of trading and Beast's style of trading, people need to realize that these aren't going to be $200 or $300 moves when you're playing these bounces. These are 70, 80, $50 snatch and grabs when you're playing these scalps.
Yeah. Yep.
If you want the bigger moves, then get off the 5 minute, go to the 15, the 30, and the hour, and level up that way. But when you start doing that, you got to be really conscientious about your drawdown to make sure you have enough drawdown to ride out that long term.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's why I tell people to find their average per trade, right? If you don't know your average per trade, your focus should be 50 to 100 per trade. Once you find what your average per trade is, you can still be on a 5 minute chart, and you just have to sit in the trade a little bit longer to get the bigger move. Because there's still some big moves here. You could, if you would have waited 15 minutes, that's 5, 10, 15. That's a big movement down. But the thing is, if you don't know what your average per trade is, you're just guessing. So if you don't have an
Right.
average per trade, 50 to 100 is a good place to start. Now, once you start practicing and writing down your trades and seeing how much you made and how much farther you could have made, then you say, oh, if I would have sat in that trade 10 minutes, I would have made $400 instead of 100. Okay, let me write that down and journal what happened with that trade. I took a trade at the R1. I got $100, but if I would have sat in that R1 trade, I would have made 500 in 10 minutes. Okay, well, next time R1, sit in there for 5 to 10 minutes and just wait it out. So you have
Is
to
that
find
by
your
itself?
average. Well, no, this is the R1 plus the
Multiple
Don
points
chain.
of content.
So
And
it's 2 points right here.
sorry, Will. Um, the one thing that I did notice is like, and that's whenever I have multiple points of confluence, that's when I typically will sit in a trade longer. Like, I wasn't a short term scalper, I was like an intermediate,
Mhm.
5 to 10 minute sit times
Yeah.
until I started running with you guys. And I was like, hey, this is very lucrative playing the game the way you guys
Yeah,
do.
because I'm trying to get you to a payout.
Right. Right. So I started running with your guys's, and then like sometimes when you guys are like, I got mine or whatever, I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, you're leaving some on the table. But then I understand the strategy that you guys are using. But the more points of confluence that I see, I tend to sit in the trade a little bit longer. Would you say that's a correct way to analyze that?
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. But all the goal is always to have a target. If
Right.
your target if your target is 500, okay, do you average $500 per trade? If you don't average 500 per trade, say you average 250 per trade. If your goal is 500, then you need to take two trades then until you increase your average. Journal, write down your trades. See, okay, I had 2 points of confluence. I made 200 on that trade, but it went to 800. Okay, well, next time I see that many points of confluence, then I'm going to sit in there a little bit longer till I can get 800. You have to test it out. Don't just, throw a trade out there and be like, I hope it gets 800. Practice, write down your results and trust your results because everybody trades different. Even though I teach you one way, my entry might be slightly different than your entry. You know what I mean? So you always want to test out your entries when you're trading.
No, like, yeah, I cut my I did your average the way you told me to do it.
Mhm.
and the number was way higher than I was comfortable with. So I divided by 2 and well, because like I was just sitting here and I ran it like and it was
that's your
like
average.
I don't like that average because that's too much money. Like I was hitting 600 every like 550 to 650 every one, just boom, boom, boom. I was like, okay, well, so then I backed it up and like I put my average at 300.
That's perfect.
And I'm just sitting there and like I'm way more consistent because that was my deal. Like I was over at funding ticks where we don't have consistency after you're funded.
Yeah, you just out there going at it, huh?
I was, yeah, like I was 2 contracts deep and just holding a magnet at the bottom of my screen saying print, baby, print. And I mean, I was getting paydays off of it, but coming over with you and my consistency's really stepped up and I've slowed down. And I've only thrown my laptop one time since I started listening to your videos.
Well, that's good. Well, and well, that's the purpose of finding your average, right? Now, you just like you said, yeah, your average was a lot higher than you thought it was. Well, yeah, that's the purpose of finding it because now you know, hey, if I wanted to, I could get 600, but let me get through because it's just the average per trade. That don't mean you're gonna get it every time. It's just more than likely you can get 600 if you wanted to on that one trade. You know what I mean? But you lower it down to 300, now you just have a better chance of making it. You know, but that's why I want you guys to find your average so that you're not in there hoping and wishing you make money. You know, if I take this trade, educated trade, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to get at least 500 because I've done it 10 times and I average 600 when I do it that way. So you could set your target to anything 600 or below. You know what I'm saying? But if your average is 600, don't try to make 900 because your average is 6.
Right.
So try to get 6 or below. But that's how you become consistent, not just rolling the dice.
It was on this day.
I have a question that relates to that what you were saying about the bounce on the levels. So I ran into this Friday actually because I was seeing like I don't have like the divergence indicator, but I've been doing okay, like figuring out like where it's gonna move.
Yeah.
But I've been hesitating, and it's I've noticed that on two trades that I like held back on, almost the instant that it hit the level, it turned around immediately, and usually it would turn around like pretty big.
Yeah.
And so I think my question is, when you see that, one, how good is that level after that? Or is it something that's like, okay, let that candle play out and look for the next level?
Well, levels, I normally take 2 trades at a level, right? If it taps it the 3rd time, I'm not taking that. Even whether it worked or not, 2 times is the most I will take per level.
You heard that.
After that, I'll wait for it to either close above it or go down below to another level.
All right. Follow-up question. And I'm a risk sounding really silly about this. So let's say you miss the bounce, but you still jump in as it is bouncing.
That's chasing. That's chasing. Okay. Whatever level you say, okay, I want to get now. You could front run. Okay, so say I want to take the R1 trade right here. You can put a resting order and front run it just a little bit, like maybe one point. I don't front run it too much. I might front run like 1 point. You know what I'm saying? That's called front running. You just jump in the line, because when you front run, you're taking the risk of it going a little bit above R1, then coming back down.
I got you.
It could go above R1 and knock you out.
What was that question he asked again?
Oh, as far as taking another trade at that level or just jumping in if it's already bounced. Don't jump in if it didn't pick you up and it started going down. Don't jump in there because it's gonna turn around, smack you, and then continue down. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say pick me at the bus stop. The bus stop is R1, but that don't mean you could say, okay, I'm gonna move a little bit in front of R1, pick me up a little bit, because that's not really a big difference as far as money. That's not really a big difference. So that's called front running, but it still hasn't gotten there yet. It's okay to front run if it hasn't got to your level yet. But if it touched your level and now it's going down, don't just jump into that trade because it's going to go down. It's going to bounce up, smack your stop loss, and then continue down. You know what
I
I'm saying?
think
You gotta
I'm
be
gonna
careful
practice
with
with
that.
that some more because I think that's I've run into that too where it doesn't quite get to the level
Yeah.
in turnaround. So that sounds like a good plan. So
Yeah,
all right,
there's a
thank
friend
you.
of mine. That's all he does. Whatever the level is, he's always like 1 point in front of the level because he don't mind taking a little bit of heat before it turns around and gets him money. You know what I'm saying? So he'll jump in front of the whatever the level is. He'll take a trade a little bit in front of it, and it works for him. Like your entry is the key to being successful at a trade. Is where do you enter the trade? A lot of times I like for it to bounce a little bit above it, and on the way down, I'll jump into the trade. Sometimes if it's coming up to the line, I'll jump in as soon as it touch it. It just depends on the size of my account. If I have enough cushion in there, I'll front run it a whole point. I'll be a whole point and then some in front of the level just so I could get in because I can take the more cushion you have, you can take bigger trades and sit in them. Because if you have a $8,000 cushion on a 50K account, if you lose 8,000 in one day, we need to talk. But but if you have a decent cushion in there,
Yeah.
you could sit in that trade and go negative $400 and not sweat a bullet yet. You could go negative 500 in a trade before it turns around and makes you 700 or 1,000. That's the point I want you guys to get to. Take the smaller trades to build that cushion. Once you got that cushion built, you much more relaxed. You could take a trade and go get you something to drink while you in the trade. Come back and be like, all right, cool. I'm up 600. All right, bet. You know what I'm saying? Like I want you to be able to trade and not be so sensitive about every trade. But you got to build that cushion first. You might not be and when I say you're not at the level to make the bigger trades, I mean your account might not be. You might have the skill set to take bigger trades, but your account size might not have enough cushion to take those bigger trades. You know what I'm saying? That cushion in that account makes you a lot more comfortable when you're trading. Trust me.
Thank you
Oh,
for
hold
that.
on one second. Hold on one second, my dad. All right, sorry about that. I'm back. That was my dad. I had to answer it because he called twice. I was like, "What's going on?"
Hey, Dad.
You know where he at, Vita?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I was about to say where, but then I just realized the conversation last night. You know what's in my head? I know it's off topic, but MHT Academy.
Oh Lord.
You did a good job with the jingle.
Good old AI. I'm telling you. Okay, so where were we at?
Oh, you were just telling us how to make 1 million.
How to make it big. Yeah, so my whole purpose of doing the 50 to 100 per trade was so that you can start making money while you're practicing to get those bigger trades. I want y'all to get to the bigger trades where you can sit in there and make $600-700, but you have to have that cushion first. When you guys finally do get to your payouts, say you have a 25K account, you got to make 2,600 to get your first payout. No, you got to make 1,600 to get your first payout. Do not take the whole 1,500 out because you can take a max of 1,500 on a 25K account. Once you get enough to get a payout, do not take the whole 1,500 out. Take about five because you want to have that cushion in there. Same thing with a 50K account. You got to make 2,600, if I'm not mistaken, to get your first payout. Don't take $2,500 out. or 2,000 out. Take like 1,000, right? That way you still have a little cushion in there just in case you have a bad day or a bad week, right? And that's the reason why a lot of people lose their account so fast because they get their first payout and they take so much out they don't really have enough wiggle room if they have a bad day, and then they lose that account. The purpose is to keep your accounts. I have some accounts that I've had for 2 years, 2-3 years that I've just been babying them, and now they have a nice cushion in them. I could take bigger trades, right? Sometimes those 50 and 25K accounts might not be for you. If you can't get a consistent payout or you can't pass them, you might want to try a bigger size account, right? Because I have plenty of friends that trade. Some of them can't trade those 50K accounts. Some of my friends can only do 250 to 300K accounts because of their style of trade. They just take bigger trades. So it might not be you, it might just be the account size that you might need to switch up to. So don't be scared to try some of the bigger ones. Like right now, Apex is doing what, $19 for a 300K account. So you could try it out for a month. If you don't like it, cancel it because they're going to charge you 50% the next month, whatever that 50% is. But they do have it. They're doing a special now to where you can get the bigger accounts evals. Lilu, sometimes they'll do a straight to funded 300K account for 150. Sometimes the bigger accounts might be better for you if you like trading bigger amounts. But even with my big accounts, I only do about 250 to 300 per trade anyway. I just take more than one trade, but I still only focus on 250 to 300 even on my big accounts. It's just the 25 or the 50K, I only do one trade, get close to 200, 250, I'm good. But the bigger accounts, I'll do 2 to 3 trades at 200 to 250. And then sometimes you get lucky and you take a trade and the thing be moving so good, you be like, you know what? I'm going to move my target a little bit farther away. But don't get in the habit of doing that. But as you get better with trading, I don't even trade with a target. You'll get there, but don't do that until they remove your consistency. Once they remove that consistency off your PA, then you could trade that strategy that doesn't have a target. It just has a stop loss. Because it moves pretty fast once you get used to it.
Hey everybody, speaking of stop losses, how do we fix our ATM strategy where that stop loss don't eat you up like immediately? Sometimes I make a
where's your
trade
stop
and it's
loss
like,
at?
I said, I think like 30, 25 or 35.
Okay, so 35, it goes by how much you're willing to risk per trade, right?
I don't want to risk more than $50.
So hey, you got to risk a little bit more than 50. So 35 ticks times $5, that is $175 per trade that you're risking. Now on a 50K account, my max risk is 300, right? So if you want, you could put it at 300.
Okay.
So you could put it at 60 ticks.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But on a 50K account, I wouldn't risk no more than 300 per trade. Because a 50K account, you really only have 3,000 that you can play with.
Right. And I about lost it all after the market about tore my ass up Christmas Eve. I was babysitting, so I wasn't paying attention, and I didn't realize it was 9:30. And I said, "Oh, it's going. Let me try to jump in there." I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" I felt like I was underwater, waves knocking me left.
Yeah, don't just jump in there.
I said, "Oh, never again." I said, "That's why he said it's like catching a falling knife." Yeah, I got my behind tore up.
Well, to avoid getting tore up, always have a max amount you're willing to risk, right? So if once again on a 50K account, the most that I'm willing to risk per day is 300. So if you want to take one trade and risk the whole 300, then do that. But once you hit negative 300, do not trade that account today. Either go to another account, go to simulation, and you could try again tomorrow. The reason why is also a mental thing, because for some reason when you see that red negative 300, you want a revenge trade to try to get that 300 back. But if you wait until the next day, that 300 is gone. You still lost the 300, but it's not a big old red number sitting in your face.
Right, that's
So
so true.
it's more of a mental game.
For
Dang,
sure.
you had to call me out.
Hey, every trader goes through it. Every trader.
Absolutely, because I'm like, I got to at least get it back down to half of that.
No, don't
Yeah.
do it. Don't do it. Once you sit there and tell yourself, I could get it back, you probably can get it back. But I don't want you to get in the habit of trying to get it back because now you're revenge trading because you're trying to get it back.
Yes.
And I had to notice, I had to realize that about myself. That's why once I set my limit, and that's why I have so many accounts because it was times where I lose the 300 and I'm like, well, I don't have any more accounts. Well, I'm gonna go buy me another eval. But it paid off because that's why I have so many. But that's just part of trading. You got to know when to stop because it's going to build the habit. You want to get in the habit of stopping at negative 300, stopping at positive 300 or whatever your target is. You want to get to it and stop. Go to another account or simulation or whatever have you, but you need to learn how to stop doing certain things once you hit your amount. Because I know
That
y'all be like, man, I got my 200, but the market's still moving. Then go to another account then. Don't leave that one alone.
that six that 60 ticks is only for NQ.
Well, yeah, because on GC, that's doubled. So that's $600 on GC. Because GC is $10 for every tick. NQ is $5 for every tick. And that's another thing. The difference between NQ and GC is a precious metal. NQ are companies. You know what I'm saying? Companies that you're trading with or trading based on their production. So when you trade in precious metals, it moves a little bit different because it's not going based off of what companies are doing. It's really based off the economy and the dollar. You know what I'm saying? So GC been going up for the past I don't know how many days. It's been going up because they're trying to push the value of gold up, and the economy is kind of having issues. So gold more than likely is going to go up. It doesn't crash necessarily. NQ like companies stocks like NQ, the Dow Jones, which is YM and ES. Those are companies they could go up and down. Gold, silver, they normally move in one direction. If it goes down, it's not for a very long time. So that's why, like Friday, even though GC kept saying, is a good chance of a short, and it kept going up, I was telling y'all I will only buy gold. I will wait for it to come down a little bit to a certain level and buy it back up. Let it drop a little bit and buy it back up because when gold says it's time to go up, it's hard headed. It's gonna keep going up, no matter what you think. Oh, it's about to drop. No, it ain't. You think it's about to drop, you jump in, you're gonna get popped. Because all gold does, this is gold right here. It has times where it drops, but when it's at an all-time high, it is moving up. We can look at the 1 hour on gold. It's loading up now. This the 1 hour on gold. Look at that. It's been going up. It has little times where it dips down, like it had a nice little dip right there. But for the most part, gold has been up. You know what I'm saying? And this is days. This is since the 19th. It's just been going up. You know what I'm saying? So wait for it to drop down and take it up higher, especially when it's at an all-time high. So you trade them slightly different. The laws of the level still work. You got swing highs, swing lows. All the levels still work no matter what you're trading. You just have to understand they trade slightly different based on what you're trading, though. Yeah, but once gold get a taste of an all-time high, it goes up for a couple days.
Speaking of levels, what is that orange indicator, and how should we treat that? It's
Carla,
the orange
you
one
don't
that
you don't have
pops
price
up
point?
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I have it, and it comes up every now and then, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, opening price is a LIS level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Explain that a little bit, please.
So the LIS is so we only use the LIS from from Tuesday to Friday. We don't use it on Mondays because the LIS is the last trade that the institutional traders took. So it's the closure of the 4:05 p.m. candle. Because 4:05 is usually the last trade that was taken by the big old hedge funds and companies and stuff. So the next day, that level that 4:05 closure is a strong level for the next day. So normally, if you see that orange line, is a good area to buy or sell, depending on where that orange line is at.
Okay,
So it's
perfect.
called a
Thank you.
line in the sand.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very strong level.
But what about for us? And we trade because we trade in futures. You still just put it up on the 405?
Well, yeah.
Or
Well, the indicator open price. Do you have that one?
yeah.
The indicator marks it off every day for you, so you don't have to mark it off. But yeah, it works. It works perfect with NQ.
No, but when we so when I set it up, I went in and I put mine at I think it was 1805.
No, not 18.
Should I be putting it
Hold
at
on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
1605?
Where you? Hold on. What's your time zone? Because if you have your Ninja Trader on Central Time, then you want to put it at the 13:05 closure because
I'm
you're an hour
sorry, Miss
behind.
Page, I didn't hear you.
If you're an hour behind Eastern Standard Time, you want to move that from 4:05 to 16 to 15.
No, okay.
But if you're
I
on
didn't hear
Eastern
what
time,
you
or
just
you can just
said.
keep your computer on Eastern, like I keep mine on Eastern time, so no matter where I'm at, my charts
Right.
are based off the Eastern time.
Okay, I'm sorry, I had my volume turned down there for a minute.
Yeah.
So let me ask you over again. So when I put it on the chart, uh, what's the time? Is it what,
Yeah,
1605?
16:05.
16, not 1805.
No, not 18.
That's an overnight high. 1805. No, it's LIS. What are you talking
I
about?
know.
Okay, thank you.
LIS is the closure of the 405 candle or 16:05.
Okay.
If you keep it on Eastern time. But if you're West Coast, you need to adjust your time to West Coast. Or you could just change your Ninja Trader in your computer to the Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, but the overnight high and overnight low is different. That's a different level. And if you trade at night, you don't really use the overnight high and overnight low if you trade at night. That the overnight high and overnight low is the New York overnight high and low, which you would trade that if you trade the New York session. So did anybody trade anything other than the New York?
I don't. But Will, what time does? Because we get like a small rush on when London closes. What time do they close in the market?
I want to say 11:30
11:30.
Eastern
Okay.
Standard Time. Yeah.
Because usually you'll get some volatility or some movement, at that time as well.
Yeah, because it's their power hour, just like 4 to 5 o'clock is our power hour.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why I normally don't trade after 11:30, because it's a different market. You know what I'm saying? Because if you trade the New York 9:30 open, you're trading New York and London at the same time. So that's why it's more volatile. Once London goes away, if it was an up day, once London goes away, it starts going down, and vice versa. If it's a down day after 12 o'clock, it starts going up because it's just New York then.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you're normally done by then.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but I mean before, yeah, I'm normally done by 10 o'clock, by 10:30. Yeah, I don't be here too long. And this is what I'm saying and since I've been going live for the pre-market, I've getting more trade time, but normally I'm only trading from 9:30 to 10:30, then I'm done. That's the time where trade my PAs mostly is 9:30 to 10:30. Anything else that I trade, I'm mostly trading my evals to pass those. All right. Any question that we can answer while we're here? If you need more clarity on overnight high and low or anything, guys.
I got a question.
Mhm.
So I've been researching like the quadruple witching dates, and I noticed how they only happen like 4 times a year. And I also didn't realize that on those same dates, they're the same dates that the options contracts either have to sell off or extend. and then the futures contracts also. And so one of those dates was what was it? December 20th. And so I went back and looked at my journaling notes on that, and I realized it was like a lot of volatility. So wouldn't it be optimal, or could you put on a little bit more size on those dates?
Yeah, you can. You
Okay.
can. I mean, and that's the whole purpose of journaling, right? So you could go back to your journal and see certain dates like, oh, that's what the market did on that day. So if that day happens again, I know how to react to it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the whole purpose of journaling and being able to take advantage of the education that you have. You know, because you can't remember every trade that you take. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't remember, oh, when it did this last time 6 months ago, you know, so you could journal and you could every few months, every month or so, I'll go over my journal and be like, okay, I'll mark off what was my best days, you know, what was the worst days that I traded, what was the days that I made the most money or the least amount of money. And those normally line up to just like you said, you looked at certain things and was like, oh, the 20th, this happened. That's what I did. Now I know how to switch it up the next time that comes around. You know, just
Yeah.
like the beginning of the year, when the first quarter is going to be pandemonium. Normally, you know, it's normally crazy. Election year, the election years it'd be crazy around election time.
Yeah,
You
we got
know, so
midterms this
yeah, you
26 coming up.
you you got to pay attention to all that stuff.
And so with that, the quadrupling, witching contract settles or whatever, for lack of better words.
Mhm.
Um, I made a lot of money that day. And I also want to go ahead and give you my flowers. I think I've been with you since September. When was the government shutdown? I think it was
Yeah.
September, October.
Mhm.
So yeah, I got my first little payout the other
Oh,
day.
nice,
And
nice,
Hey,
yeah,
outstanding,
so
Congratulations.
do the work,
outstanding.
take your time, and it works.
Oh, that's outstanding, man. I'm glad you got that. So that's one student got to pay out, so I ain't got to worry about him no more. Next, because that's my goal is to get y'all to a payout. That's the fun. That's when it starts getting real fun.
Hey, Will, real quick, when are you gonna start doing the Discord in the morning? Like how
Um,
you do TikTok and switch it over to Discord.
that'd probably be the first, probably next week. I'll probably start doing that.
Okay, cool.
You know what I'm saying? Probably because I want to go. You know, as I said, I'd rather go the new year. I want to get you guys to a payout. You know, teach you know, and also when I trade with you guys live, I can go more in the detail per trade and what I'm looking at, what's next, instead of being like kind of, you know, secretive on TikTok where is enough where people see we know what we're doing, but not giving away too much sauce because y'all paid to learn this and I don't want them to get too much for free. So now, yeah, we're in the new year. We're going to be on Discord. I might still do Zoom or Discord, whichever data moves faster, so you guys can see per trade. You know, I don't want any lag. You know, so but I
Discord
mean, I'm
isn't
pretty.
bad.
It isn't bad because it's just
Nah,
a lot of people
because
don't know how to get on Discord and tune in. Some people just easier to tune in with Zoom.
if you want, I can help the ones that don't really know how to work Discord.
Yeah, because
And
you know how
after
to go
this
live in
chat,
Discord, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
after
you
this
know.
chat, I can walk everybody through whoever wants to uh understand it.
Because I'm still new to Discord because I use Zoom and I've been on Teachable and everything else. So yeah, doing Discord, I'm still kind of new to going live on Discord. But I mean, I'm pretty tech savvy, so I can figure it out. But yeah, I would like to get more on that because, as I said, my goal is to help the people that trusted me to teach them how to do it. So I want to be able to go live with you guys, at least a pre-market, because I still go live with my group, but I could go live with them at like 10 o'clock and go live with those guys and just trade like 30 minutes because I trade till about 10:30. So I go pre-market maybe 8 to 8:30 till probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock. At least be there for the open with you guys. And then go over to my other group with Beast and them. But yeah, but still get a good hour, almost 2 hours of live trading with the students because in the new year, the course is going up. So I'm raising the price of the course because I will be trading live pre-market with everybody. Not for you guys, y'all locked in, so it's not going up for y'all. It's just everybody else that joins after the new year, the price will be higher because I'm going to be providing that trading service as well. Instead of charging people a separate price to trade live, I'm just going to put that into the overall price of the course for the newer people.
Will
Yeah,
you
because I
still be
know
doing Asia?
there's.
Oh, say that again.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just curious if you'll still be doing Asia session.
Yeah. I'll probably do the Asian session on TikTok.
Okay. Because,
Yeah, I'll probably do the Asian
working the
session
9
on
to 5,
TikTok.
that's when I'm mainly free. So I was just curious. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so and as I said, I'll look into it. If enough people can join just the Zoom, the class alone, if it's a decent amount of people on there at night, then yeah, I could probably do it at night with just the students, but that would be later on in the year though.
What time is that Asian session?
I normally go live around 8:30 at night, 9 o'clock. But the Asian session, the Asian market opens, I want to say at 8, if I'm not mistaken. I think it opens up at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, but the market opens up at 6. So when you trade, you could start trading at 6 p.m.
Here's a little life hack. If you ever forget when those markets open up, you can turn on Bloomberg on your television, and it'll tell you when that market opens up, and it also give you a kind of insight of when the day, what kind of day it's going to be, because they've
Oh, okay.
already analyzed it and everything, so they tell you which direction the
Yeah,
market is
that's why I
going.
put the TV in here now.
Yeah,
That's why I got my TV in there so I can see what's going on. Cause yeah, watching the news and stuff like that, Bloomberg, I like CNBC in the morning, stuff like that. They give a lot of info, a lot of insight of what's going on. Especially when Trump does like a random tweet, they'll tell you about it, and you'll see the market immediately respond.
yeah, because I noticed with the precious metals going up, um, I started looking at the Dow Jones, the industrial section,
Mhm.
and it's been moving and grooving also just as
Yeah,
much as gold. Like
that's why he
it's
was over there
been,
on YM the other day.
yeah, it's been moving, and I caught a nice little, what was it, like 10, 15 ticks off of it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and that's saying like don't be scared to try out some of the other stuff like YM. The Russell, is a nice one. It moves a lot. So you got the Russell, you got the Dow Jones, you got gold, silver, you got oil, which is oil's what's oil? I just had it up there. CL. You can do oil as CL. Like just try them out in sim to see if you like them and see how they move. But there's a lot of money to be made in all of these. I just like NQ because it moves to me. It moves a lot faster, a lot more than other ones, and I like GC because GC follows the rules pretty tight. But yeah, some
don't
people like
forget about
ES
my
more.
bay. Don't forget
ES.
about ES.
As I said, some people like ES more because it does move a little bit slower, but it's like 12.50 per tick versus
Yeah.
$5 per tick. So even though it takes a little bit longer to move, one movement is about two and a half movements of NQ.
And then it's also moving in the same direction as NQ,
Yeah, it
but it
moves in
moves
the
a
pretty
little
much
bit
same direction.
slower. So what I figured out was like, okay, if I watch NQ and I see it's already going up kind of fast or slow, then I can probably catch that move on ES also if I missed it
Yeah.
on NQ.
Yeah, and ES and ZB actually move opposite of each other.
I've been tearing ZB up.
Yeah, so when I first started trading, my instructor will have ZB and ES on the screen, and he'd be like, "As soon as ZB start going down, ES will start going up. As soon as ZB start going up, ES will start going down." I was like,
Yeah.
"That is crazy how they work together like that." He was like, "Yeah, more than likely they move opposite of each other." So I
I
was
have a
like, "Oh, that's
question.
crazy." Yeah, good.
So someone had sent me a video of like someone else trading Tesla. That's not futures, right?
No. That's not futures.
Okay.
But I mean, you could, as I say, you could trade anything that's publicly traded.
How do you find the prices, tick prices for each system?
The internet. That's where I go. That's where I go pull it up. But I could find a whole chart. I can find a whole chart and put it in the course because they
Okay.
all different. Because ZB is $31 per tick. So you go over there to ZB, you trying to do two contracts, you're gonna get whooped up.
31 is insane.
Yeah, yeah.
But it moves so slow.
It moved like molasses.
So if it's going against you in the opposite direction, like like, all right, I'm already down $500. Let me go ahead and get out of this. But when it's going the true direction or direction that it wants to flow, like man, you can make a lot of money off ZB and UB.
You go walk away and make
I'm
a
not
whole
staying in no
breakfast.
trade that's losing $500 each. What?
But ZB is just ZB. Like I can't load it up on here because I didn't save it. But if you go to ZB on your chart when the market opens up, you'll see ZB. It'd be a lot of blank space. It'd be a lot of doge. You can't trust a doji on ZB because almost every other bar is a doji because it moves so slow. So there's certain rules you can't follow with ZB that I teach. I mean, you can still follow the levels, but like when I traded ZB, I didn't trade ZB on a 5 minute. I traded ZB on a 1 minute because the 5 minute just has too many dojis and too many blank spaces. So I'll move ZB down to a 1 minute, and if you do like a 30-second or a 1 minute, ZB moves pretty good. Like you can follow it like you follow NQ as far as how you mark off the levels. But if you do ZB on a 5 minute chart, yeah, it's gonna take forever to get to a level.
Or you could just do UB. It's a shorter time frame of the
Oh yeah,
bond
yeah.
market.
UB isn't that is that 10-year bonds?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Don't ask me why I remember all these darn numbers.
Because you obsessed.
Well, I'm pretty sure that was 10-year bonds. Yeah, UB moves a little bit faster. But I don't think it's $31 per tick though. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, my first instructor, he had us doing 3 contracts of ZB. And I kept wondering why I kept getting my butt whooped. I'm like, why am I doing now that I look back on it, it's like, why was he telling us to do 3 contracts of ZB? That's crazy. That's $90 per tick. He was a great trader though, so he made a lot of money doing it that way. But as a beginner, I don't know why he was telling us to do that. Oh, look at it. Market moving slow right now, but look at that. It closed below that level, touched it, bounced down. Yeah, but yeah, the NQ is a little bit slower on Friday, but right now it's only 8:57 in the morning. So, but you still could have made plenty money at 8 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, that's why I like going live in the morning because I can show y'all, how the trades work. They work the same way because it's just the England market. It's just as England or Europe by itself. When we trade the pre-market, it's just Europe. And then when 9:30 hits, is Europe and New York or America.
So, Will, now with gold kind of doing what it's been doing, have you sort of kind of transitioned more to doing trades on gold than NASDAQ or
No, I'm still about 50-50.
50-50? Okay.
Yeah, I'm still about 50-50. But look, I see that divergence. Divergence popped up on gold. That mug dropped. That's a nice drop on gold. Because remember, gold is $10 per tick.
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
Yeah, don't take much to get to that bag quick on gold. And as I said, gold follows a rule. To me, it follows the rules a little bit closer. It don't have those big swings. Like NQ will swing past a level before it goes down and get you money. GC don't normally do that. If it does swing, it's not by that much, and it turns back around. So I think it follows the rules a little bit better, or a little bit closer. Not better, but closer. NQ, you got to be a little more, and that's why I started off teaching NQ, because if you can understand NQ and get those levels in NQ, you'll be great at pretty much any other stock, except for crypto. Crypto is a different monster.
I was going to say, have you traded that MBT?
Yeah, I've traded it. It's just the problem with crypto is it's not regulated. So crypto don't care about what's going on in society or in the market. Crypto does its own thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's hard to predict. To me, it's hard to predict GC. I mean, crypto. Because like I could predict GC and NQ and YM. I could look at the market and see the levels and everything. But with with crypto, you can mark off the chart the way I teach you, and you'll realize it don't always, it very rarely follows that enough to be consistent. You just have to kind of sit in the trade and just, hope it goes in the right direction. I like things that are a little more stable, per se.
All right, I have a question.
Mhm.
I'm looking at your window and I see you have the NQ charts and the GC chart on the same window. Is that like your everyday
Oh no, it's talking
setup?
about down here.
Yeah.
No, I usually have GC over here and NQ over here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Because
no,
I
I
was
normally
about to
separate
ask
them.
like how do you I was gonna ask like how do you keep the level straight? But if you basically you do the GC levels on the GC window.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, also what I do once I mark off my chart, my daily, my 4 hour. Once I mark off those levels, I close those charts. I close the tabs
Okay.
because the more tabs you have open, it could potentially slow down the way it moves because you have so much data running at the same time. So once I mark off the daily and the 4 hour, I normally hit X on those and close them. That way I'm only trading with the 5 minute and the 1 hour. Because the 1 hour it could change. Because especially if you're sitting there more than 1 hour. But I'm not gonna be here more than 4 hours to care about what happens with the 4 hour chart.
Okay.
Yeah, but once you mark them
That
up, once
helps
you mark
out.
off the daily and the 4 hour, you could go ahead and close those tabs.
Okay. And my last question is I wanted to get a refresher on how you do that trailing that running stop loss.
Oh yeah.
I had to redo my whole system and I just couldn't remember how to do that.
Oh yeah, right here. So once you mark this off, stop loss, blah blah blah, profit, whatever you want your profit at, stop strategy. You can have a auto break even if you want. You don't have to have an auto break even. You can leave that alone and just have it trail once you get. So this one right here says 45. So once I get 45 ticks into profit, my stop loss moves 10 ticks behind it. So my stop loss is at 35 while the profit trigger is at 45. So that's what they mean by stop loss of 10. The stop loss is 10 behind the profit trigger.
Got it. But it has to hit that 45 to trigger that. Okay.
Yeah. So profit trigger is wherever you want it to start moving at. You might put your profit trigger at 20. So as soon as you get 20 ticks, it's going to move 10 ticks behind it. So it'd be at 10. It's going to lock in $50 if you're at 20, if you're at 100.
Got it.
And then
and frequency 1. That means if it move up, you move up. But if it move against you, it don't move anymore. So it just moves up one frequency. If you have frequency at 2, every time the market moves 1, it moves 2. 1, 2.
So if I do auto trail, I don't have to do the auto break even.
You don't necessarily have to. I like the auto break even because I have mine set at 20.
Right.
So once it goes 20 ticks, once it gives me $100, I move up to 25. I lock in $25. So if it comes against me, I'm gonna get at least my interest, my taxes.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I get a little, at least get a little $20, $25 off of it.
Okay.
So that's why I have a break even.
Got it.
Because if I'm
so
sitting in
at
the
a
trade
minimum,
for 5-10 minutes, I want to lock in something.
So with what you have here, I'm gonna get that 20 tick. But once it gets up to 45, now I'm just 30. Okay, got it.
Your hair goes ching, 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 ching.
Yeah.
Love that cha-ching sound.
So let's say I'm in a trade and I can see I can see that it's gonna keep going.
Mm-hmm.
If I move my target, does that keep moving that break even, or do I have to?
Oh no, it'll keep moving. So what you do? So right here, I'll show you. So say I'm just gonna put in something here. Say I'm selling the market, right? If you don't want it to follow anymore, you can right click on it and go to auto trail, disable, auto break even, disable it.
Oh, okay.
So you can disable it, or you can attach one. You can add one to it. You know what I'm saying? Attach an indicator. You can attach an indicator. You can decrease, increase it, whatever.
All right, I got some stuff to experiment. That looks like
Yeah.
it's gonna be a lot of
Yeah. So
fun.
yeah, you could do that too.
Yeah.
And also if you actually take a trade and you like, oh man, I forgot to put an ATM strategy in there. You could go in here and well, not here. You go into right here and you could add a strategy to it. But it's on what is it, positions. You go to positions and you could add a ATM strategy to it.
Oh, that's dope.
So instead of being in a naked trade and closing at a loss, you can be like, oh, let me just go over here and I'm gonna put this one on there. Now you have a strategy put on there. See, now I put the strategy on there for you. So if you're in a naked trade, you could just go over here to your control center and go to positions, and you could go ahead and apply ATM strategy to that position. You know what I'm saying? You can lock one in there, any one you want to choose.
So because sometimes I will press in an order and I'll have nothing on, so I could go in there in strategies and do that when I do that. Got it. Okay.
If you accidentally go naked or purposely go take a naked trade, you just go to positions and apply ATM strategy.
And that won't count against us in the eval or in the PA, right?
No, it shouldn't. I've
Okay.
never heard of it doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one way you could do it. Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do with NinjaTrader. That's why I like it. It was all, what time? It was 9:07. But yeah, anybody got any questions?
If it gets to a level, and it starts to pull back, how, before it actually starts getting in the money, how long is it best to like let it pull back for before you realize it just went through the level as opposed to just pulling back a little bit?
So okay, so R1, what you mean? When if you're waiting for the R1 and it doesn't get there? Is that what you mean?
Think he's saying like if it gets there and then it just continues to go past it, like how do you know the difference between it's
Oh,
just
when to just count your losses?
yeah.
Um, have an ATM strategy and stick to it. Do not like so say I let me pick an ATM strategy that I use. So let's just keep it on the $50, right? Say I'm selling the market, right? And it's going against me. I don't move this. I don't move this flag away. I won't move it away. I keep that flag exactly where it's at. Because I'm willing to risk X amount of dollars per trade. I don't get in the habit of moving this away because the market is going to chase you anyway. It's just going to keep chasing you and it's going to take your money. So whatever you put your ATM strategy at, you need to leave it there. If it hits it, it hits it. The whole purpose of the stop loss is to stop you from losing too much. All right. So that's why I have so many different ATM strategies because I use different ones based on what I'm trading, what size account that I have. So I can be able to sit in a trade longer if I'm trading a 50K account that has a $15,000 cushion on it. I trade a different ATM strategy on that one than I would a brand new PA. But yeah, the amount that you want to wait for it to stop, you just need to have a stop loss there and just let it hit your stop loss.
But what if it still goes in the direction you knew it was gonna go in and it hits your ATM? Like that's
Oh, now if that's talking about your target,
so like how he said that if the R let's just use R1 for example. If it goes through the R1 and it's gonna hit my ATM, but I know it's about to go back down, like that's the problem I'd be having
you
because
got to
like
work on your entries.
okay.
You got to work on your entries because I don't want you getting in the habit of moving your stop loss away. Oh, it's getting to my stop loss. Let me move it back. No, do not do that. Next thing you know, you're gonna blow a whole account in one day because you kept moving it back.
Because like the R1 on this screen, I mean, it looks like it went quite a bit past it before it actually shorted. And
Well,
I
actually,
run
it
into
could have
that.
bounced off of this one. It could have bounced on this one a little bit and then went up.
Oh, just within the same candle.
Yeah,
Okay.
it could have bounced within the same candle. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but if it goes past, if say it didn't bounce off this one and it kept going up, your entry. So a lot of times I would say, hey, wait for this one. The reason why this one kept going, because you see, it was a big old green, two big green ones going towards it. So I probably would have waited before I jumped in. So you also have to pay attention to market structure. If you see a whole bunch of candles going, a whole bunch of green candles going up, I'm not going to jump in immediately. I'm going to wait for it to see if it goes past it a little bit. And on the way down, I would take the short. So like this one, say this one didn't bounce and it just kept going up. I would have just waited, and then on the way down, I would have took a short at the R1 on the way down because it was a strong move up. So I'm not going to just jump in at R1 and take a short when it's that strong of a movement up. Now, if I seen like you see how there's a bunch of little ones right here, and it bounced down here, bounced down here. But if I see two big ones going up, or three or more going up, I'm gonna chill for a little bit, see what it does when it gets to R1 before I jump in. That's why I say you got to work on your entries. My entry is different depending on the market structure. Like if this candle right here would have closed red and then this one opened up green and went up, I probably would have jumped in right at the R1 because that red closure slowed it down a little bit. But if it's these, you got 1, 2, you got to close on the red. You got 3, 4 going up. These two big ones right here, I would have waited.
And then it also bounced off the Don chain, that top line right there. So you knew
the
it was
Don
going
chain.
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
That green candle right before the red one started. The wick touched it.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. That's why you work on your entries and see how it plays out sometimes. Like because the market structure was going pretty strong, I would have waited. And then when it started slowing down, when it started like bouncing up here, I probably would have took a short from up here or waited for it to come all the way back down to the R1 and took a short from there. Because the market, these are 5-minute charts, right? These are 5-minute candles. A lot of times, if you watch the 5-minute while it's moving, you'll see it start hesitating at a certain spot. It won't keep shooting up and start bouncing off that one area. That's when it's the momentum is slowing down, and then it'll start dropping. So you got to pay attention to that as well. That's why if I'm waiting for the closure, if I walk off or turn away and come back, I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna wait for another candle because I don't know what it did. You know what I'm saying? Like I would wait for another candle. That's also why I don't take a trade if it's within 30, 40 seconds of a closure. I don't care what level it's getting to. If it's 30, 40 seconds before the candle close, I'll just wait for it to close and see where it close at. Is it going to close below the level or is it going to close above the level? That changes the way I trade. So a lot of times it's in the moment that you have to look at it as well. But for the most part, the levels that I teach, like right here, when it got here, it probably bounced, got you 50 to 100, and then went above it. And this red line right here, I wouldn't count that one. That's the overnight high, and it's only 913, so that don't even count. You know what I'm saying? That's not why it bounced. It bounced because this Don chain right here. But that's the highest that the market's been so far, so I left it there for the overnight high. But the overnight high is not locked in until 9:29 or 9:30 candle open. When a new candle pop up at 9:30, then the highest point, then you can lock in the highest point and the lowest point. But you can mark it off before the market opens because most likely it's not going to go all the way back down to this overnight low down here. But yeah, that's how I would judge those. You know what I'm saying? Just working on your entry. If the market structure is moving fast towards the level, I wait a little bit before I jump in. But if it's moving slow towards the level and it's bouncing on the way up there, I'll take it right at the level most of the time, or I might front run it. But yeah, that market structure tells you a little bit more information as far as when to jump in also. Oh, this one doesn't have all the indicators on there. Oh, so did that help, Jeff?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
It makes a lot more sense. There's too much heat, so just wait.
Yeah. When there's too much heat, you don't want to just jump in there. Same thing on the way down. If you see a bunch of red candles going down, don't try to catch that falling knife. You know, wait for it to slow down a little bit, start bouncing. Like, okay, it's slowing down. All right, now I feel comfortable jumping in. But yeah, that comes with perfection. Comes with practice. It's gonna make you way more consistent. And as I said, once we start trading live, I could kind of give a better breakdown while it's happening because hindsight is always 2020. But I want you, that way you can see like what am I thinking before I jump on a trade. Like, okay, I see this happening, see that happening. This indicator says that. All right, I'll take the short here. You know what I'm saying? Like I normally say it out loud when there's people in front of me or not. That's just how I trade. I could be by myself, but like, all right, it's getting near that R1, but that's a lot of candles going up. I'm gonna take it about right here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I literally be saying it out loud so I can hear myself say it. So it's nothing to do commentary when I'm in front of a group, you know, because yeah, I'd be coaching myself on these trades, you know. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do in the new year. We're gonna get to that consistent payout. All right, so we've been here for 1 hour 16. Anybody got any other questions before we roll out?
Yeah, this is off the beaten path though.
Mhm.
I'm still trying to get into the course. I couldn't get into it, and I
Okay,
didn't.
yeah,
Okay, go
we
ahead.
we could just I'll send you a Zoom after this.
Okay,
Yeah, well, yeah, you got to be able to get access to that class.
yeah, okay,
Especially once I start adding more stuff to it. Yeah, but yeah, it's on a new platform, so yeah, it's just log in. I might have to just adjust your email or something like it. We'll figure it out.
okay.
And whoever couldn't get on the Discord, I fixed it to where it shouldn't ask you to pay for anything because we're not. I'm not even at the point where I'm charging yet. So I don't know why that's on
Say,
there.
I'm here, so I need to just set up my little meeting with you to get my charts and stuff straight with
Okay.
Martin.
Yeah, she'll be here with me.
Yeah, we can do the same time.
You gonna get your computer?
Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah, we can do the same time. But yeah, but other than that, let me see. Okay, yeah. So other than that, yeah, everything should be good then. Everybody's good. No more questions.
Yeah,
I
if
got
you
a
need
question.
help, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, this thing about the indicator, I don't know. I want to get the one. I want to get the divergence indicator, but like I want to reset my account up when I get my LLC and stuff
Mm-hmm.
done. So I don't know if I could like save it for later if I have to buy it now. So I have to use it for the account that I have now, which is the personal one.
Oh well, as far as to be able to use it as a write-off.
No, like I want to get the divergence while it's $199.
Uh-huh.
But
Oh, but
I don't want to put it on my personal account if I can't convert it like once I do it on the business side.
oh no, if you decided to put it on the business side, you just email Tyler and say, "Hey, this is my old ID, and just this the new ID. He'll just switch the ID over.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he'll just switch the ID over. Yeah, that ain't nothing. You just can't use it on two different IDs at the same time. Yeah, I was say because it's 199, so yeah. All right, so we good now.
Yeah, just send me the link. I'm ready.
All right, awesome. And as soon as this mixed down, I have it available to watch again.
Also, if
All right,
you
go ahead.
need help with that Discord, I'm gonna be in the lounge area right after this,
Oh yeah,
and
yep.
I'll show everybody. And even if you did miss it, hit me in Discord and I'll show you again.
Yeah, definitely show them how to get access to it because I would like to do it in Discord and utilize Discord because it has a lot of cool features in there that I would like to use. So yeah, if you guys don't know how to get onto the live in Discord, Zeke is gonna go over there and show you guys how to do that.
Where's the lounge area?
So
Like is it in Discord or is it on here on Zoom?
Discord.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it'd be like it'd be down here, lounge.
Okay.
and I'm already in there right now with Jeff.
Yeah, so just go to Discord and he's in there in the lounge area at the bottom.
Okay, bye everybody.
All right, see you later.
Thanks,
All right, everybody have an
Thanks,
amazing
everybody.
day. And as I said, I'm gonna download this and put it in the link so you can watch it later.